Cowboys going up against Rams.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And not too much going there as he'll get it out to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there. They'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Boy, Charles, Todd Gurley finished the year with a bang. And even though they lost the Falcons, he was over 100 yards in that game. Weeks 15 and 16, he was fantastic. A comeback year for him, wasn't it?
It certainly was because we saw him explode on the scene as a rookie in 2015. 2016 just never could really get started. We didn't see the big runs. Heck, we didn't see a 100-yard game. So when you look at this season, brand new offense, new way of doing things, the biggest thing, offensive line, Andrew Wood, left tackle, Roger Saffold, able to settle in and guard his best position, and John Sullivan, the new center. That gave him a lineman to work with, and boy, did he take advantage of it. Well over 1,300 yards rushing, caught the ball out of the backfield, a definite candidate. MVP in 2017, and I would say in just about any season he plays going forward.
Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. There's Gall.
How is that not picked? How is that not picked?
I can't help but chuckle a little bit. I'm falling back on my playing days. If I had a receiver that was 3 inches taller than me, and they couldn't complete a pass like that, my confidence really rose at that point. I probably said a few things to him to that effect.
Well, I just looked down, you're right, it's a 3-inch height difference, but you know, these defensive backs, they can jump so high. That's not that big of a difference now in the NFL, is it?
Athleticism and timing can make up for that lack of 3 inches.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. And they make the receivers, which number ones.
That was dumb.
But before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there to lead to a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back to the ground again here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. tackle gets him for a loss of 11. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with 18 on a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up near the 34. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending the opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many runs in this crowd. First quarter, first drive, first interception.
And then that's what's better. Here's the first kick for Ezekiel. Fighting his way negative about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2017 for Ezekiel. A mixed bag. Would he play, would he not play? They missed the 6 games from weeks 10 to 15. He still finished those charts 10th in the league in rushing.
Just tells you about the talent that he has, how explosive he is, and what he brings to the table. Look, he averaged 98 yards per game, 98.3 to be exact. A full 11 yards higher than number 2 Todd Gurley behind him. So that just says if he plays a full season and he's averaging that type of yardage, I think Dallas' win numbers go up.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed. Who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback position. He's been coveted in the league by quarterback needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers. Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy goes and gets quarterbacks. DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And running backs use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now it's good. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46.
I think it's okay that they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets are open.
He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So the Cowboys' offense coming back out there after the excitement of that 13-3 year in the NFC East title 2016. They fell back from 2017. They still finished 9-7, but not what you expected from them.
No, the scoring differential was a big telltale about the difference between 2016 and 2017. They were plus 115 a season ago. Just plus 22 this year. That means these 100 games can go either way. And not another win in Dallas' win column in this past season.
Give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On first and 10. Prescott. And this is caught by Dennis Bryant. Dennis Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dennis Bryant, 39 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they're going to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take it into the end zone. This is taking it to 3. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. I want to give a head tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for Hurricane Relief. $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey really hit the Houston area in a big way. His original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt, all the people who participated. And Greg Wilson, the Panthers, Benjamin Watson's the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this time. Goff on first down. And they set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be good down right at the 45-yard line. A good first down call as the screen play gets him to 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Goff now looking to throw. And Cox free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The one thing that I like defensively is they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep the offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And they hit jarred loose.
Can't pick it.
It's incomplete.
This defense is not making it easy for you. They're physical group. We just saw them on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to hold it in.
Back to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. It hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They are going for it. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And down.
Sports. Here we've got a pair of running backs. Their number will be called Fleetwood in today's game. It's the LS Cowboys. It's okay.
It is July 16th, 2018. Many are saying this is a day that will live in infamy. And that's true. They say it will be remembered as the day the presidency, as a symbol of America's protection, died. But I see something else as the result here. I think we hit bottom. And if so, there's a blessing in that, because there can be no more debate about which way is up. Donald John Trump delivered us here with a display of cowardly self-interest. His decision to choose to believe Vladimir Putin over his own government on the matter of Russian attacks on our election. As simple and as shocking as it was embarrassing to hear those words. But when it happened, everything changed. It was like the free world gasped. Now, we all knew that Trump wouldn't and maybe couldn't confront Putin about his attack on our democracy to anyone's true satisfaction, if only because Trump had disparaged the truth of the matter too many times before. And we thought we knew why. Because Trump conflates the attack with his legitimacy as president. But in all that, we never suspected that a president would betray his own country as an exercise in vanity. But then Donald Trump betrayed America. And after that gasp at Trump's perfidy came all the exhaled words of outrage and calls for justice. John Brennan, the former CIA director under President Obama, called it, quote, nothing short of treasonous. Now, that's a loaded word. The law does mention giving enemies aid and comfort as treasonous. And no question, Russia is an enemy for attacking our democracy. And what Trump did today does resemble aiding and comforting. And the law has very harsh penalties, including disqualifying the treasonous from holding office. But what's the reality? There will likely be no negative consequence like that for President Trump. No prosecution, no impeachment. And I'm not making a case here that there should be. My case is for something else that we're seeing in response that has been elusive. As elusive as justice in America recently. And that is consensus. Right, left, and reasonable in our government, when they drew their next breath, they found a collective voice. And they shouted, no. No. Putin is not right. Trump is wrong. We believe our institutions. We trust in our democracy. Russia did interfere. We will not trade facts for feelings of legitimacy. We will not trade our conscience for conspiracies. No. Party is not that important. The truth, however, is, and I see a realization in this unity. The realization is this: the truth is a side. And we were all on the right side in this moment in a way that I haven't seen in a long time. And in that moment, Trump's luck ran out. He wasn't going to escape through doubling down and insulting his way out of it. He tried. Russia did this during Obama. Servers are missing. The FBI agent, he's the real culprit. It all washed over us like the whining of a child who won't go to bed. The GOP can't dismiss this as style and say, let's wait and see. We waited too long, and the world did see and heard what President Donald Trump said.
My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this: I don't see any reason why it would be. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
And what the president tweeted after as a rationale, it only cemented his mistake. So here's the good news. Here we all are on the same page about a fundamental truth. Russia attacked our democracy. We won't stand for it. We won't let the president say otherwise. But we're facing a question. Where do we go from here? But here's what we know for sure. You've got Republicans, you've got Democrats, and right now they're on the same page. And if they move together, they will wind up in a better place.
Next to a case in the video surrounding it making headlines tonight, a fight over a parking space somehow turned deadly, and police say the man who pulled the trigger is protected by the law. ABC's Zachary Keish explains.
Is this death captured on surveillance of a Florida father gunned down during a parking lot dispute justified? Florida police, citing the state's controversial stand your ground law, say yes. The altercation took place Thursday outside of a convenience store in Clearwater. The driver of that car is Brittany Jacobs. She pulls up and parks illegally in a handicap space. Then her boyfriend, Marquise McLaughlin, a 28-year-old black male, runs into the store with their son while she waits in the car. Detectives say that's when Michael Draca, a 47-year-old white man, apparently upset the car's parked illegally, jumps out of his vehicle and inspects the car for handicap decals. When he doesn't see any, he starts arguing. Shortly after, McLaughlin leaves the store to defend his girlfriend and shoves Draca, who falls back, pulls out his gun, and opens fire.
What's relevant, and the only thing that we can
How hard was it for Kevin to play with Russ?
actually let me tell you this. Let me make this clear. People are saying it's so hard to play with him. Man, this dude, like, I don't understand. He's like maybe the best teammate I ever played with. He's a very good dude. I mean, I love him, man. Like, on
Why?
the court, off the court, because he's the type of guy that makes himself better and makes everybody else better around him. Well, some people say no. To me, yes. He made me so much better on the court, off the court. You know, he was like a big brother to me.
Well, I know, but he wanted his assists to go up, so he left you a lot of layups and dunks,
No,
right?
not that, man. But you couldn't give me two players that average triple-double. You know, just he's doing it for his teammates and for the whole organization. But I love him, man. He's a good dude. You know, but his mentality, his intensity, like, because I played with a lot of teams before. So whenever I'm on the bench sitting down, I'm like scared the other team's gonna say what's up. And then I got a lot of times that he cussed at me, he yelled at me because I was trying to talk with other teammates. No shaking hands, no saying what's up. Go talk to him after the game. Don't talk right now.
Like that?
Nothing right now.
Right?
I can see that. I can see that side of it.
Oh my God, I got.
Well, I remember he screamed at you for trying to talk to Kevin.
Yeah, you tried to dap Kevin up. He's like,
Yeah, no, don't talk to nobody.
Right?
This is it.
That was even after the game.
Was it after the game?
Yeah, I think it was after the game. You said don't talk to that.
Maybe, yeah.
He called him a bad name, too.
He called me a bad name too for that. He called me a bad name too for that.
So you're saying that right now LeBron's team is better than Russ's team, right? Because that's what you said.
Hold on, let me make this clear. I don't want to say because OKC is in my heart. OKC is really special in my heart, but you know, it's going to be a good. They got 4 teams in it, so not that they got 4 teams. Now with the Paul George signing back with the OKC, I'm like, man, it's going to be a good rivalry. So it's a war every night in West.
But you know what I heard? But I noticed you didn't go back and follow up when you said LeBron James is 6'9", 260 and the best player in the NBA. I didn't hear you ask the follow-up question. You want to ask the follow-up?
I didn't hear the best player part.
Is LeBron James the best player in the NBA?
It is the best player.
Wait, was Kevin Durant not the MVP of the NBA Finals twice in a row?
Yes.
Go ahead and talk to him. Go ahead and talk to him.
If you put LeBron and Golden State, what would happen? They will be the MVP again.
They wouldn't be quite as good, but they
Don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant, top 3 players.
Okay, Kevin plays defense, LeBron plays no defense. Am I right?
Oh, not no defense.
Well, little to no.
He plays defense, but I would keep LeBron on.
You can't change the man.
I'm just mad at Kevin leaving.
I'm mad at LeBron more. I don't like LeBron more, but like you gotta be honest, man. LeBron is.
Weren't you trying to recruit LeBron to New York?
Well, I'm gonna try to recruit KD now. You know, 1+1. It's New York, the best city in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Join us. You know.
Yeah, see? So now everybody comes out here and says the same thing, but you still on that little perch. At some point in time, you got to come in and join the rest of them.
I don't know if everybody says that.
All the guys come out here to currently play and say LeBron.
Well, they're just afraid of it.
How they afraid of what?
No. I'm not afraid of nobody.
Do you believe discrimination exists in America today?
I have personally never observed it, but many of my friends from the inner city across America will tell me that it is evident today.
Do you believe that it exists?
I believe it. Like I said, I have never personally observed it.
I understand you've never, and you're very lucky to have never experienced it.
That's right.
Do you believe that it exists?
Here's what I would say. I believe the people who tell me that it exists.
So discrimination in America exists today?
Again, I stand by my answer.
I have to say your earlier response, Mr. Capuano, was stupefying, even jaw-dropping. I was wondering if you were aware of what happened recently in Charlottesville.
To be honest with you, I don't watch TV.
So you didn't read any of the articles in the newspaper?
I don't read a newspaper.
These are unbelievable statements for any adult in America, especially one that took an oath of office like you did. But let me ask you a couple of questions. So fundamentally, why should the public trust you to overhaul the Community Reinvestment Act, a product of the civil rights movement meant to address generations of segregation and exclusion? If you don't seem really, I mean, you just don't even seem certain that discrimination exists. Will you promise us to move forward on a CRA overhaul only if you have the full support of the civil rights community?
They will be at the table discussing.
I understand they'll be at the table, but some people are at the table and ignored by others at the table. Will you commit to this committee that if there is not unity, if there's not consensus in the civil rights community, you will not move that direction on CRA overhaul?
They will be at the table having discussions like all parties involved in this.
That's the most you're going to commit.
I stand by my answer.
Okay.
Well, there are many people who would say that Joseph Otting spent more time in the inner cities of America than most banking executives across the world.
Yeah, well, that's been you don't have a personal opinion whether there's been any discrimination in banking?
Again, I have not personally observed that.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back. I can't go any further.
That means you probably don't believe a lot of things because you haven't personally experienced nuclear war either. But, you know, so does nuclear war exist? I mean, I'm not going to get into that. That's a ridiculous answer, but that's okay.
I don't look back on the tragedies that I have went through in my life, jail, drugs, liquor. I don't put those labels on myself anymore because I found that I have more love and respect for myself to carry me through anything.
Yeah, I've been in prison most of my life, half my life.
My life has just been dysfunctional. The last 30 years I've spent downtown Los Angeles on Skid Row.
I was one that was homeless at one time.
And when we feel that way, we give up on life. And when we give up on life, it destroys our spirit.
But I did not go, you know, you can go to the left or go to the right. I went to the right. I didn't want to spend my whole life in there.
So there are going to be struggles in life. I mean, that's life. And that's how life is presented to every individual that's on earth.
Because nothing turns up in your mind how you think they're supposed to be. Open your eyes, open your heart. Look at things exactly the way they are.
Just listen to your heart and your head. As long as your heart and head are together, they're your whole. Try to find somebody that you can talk to about anything.
Don't be shy, just ask for help if you need it.
And I try to be a happy person. I'm a giving person. And I get back in return.
The night I got out, they told me I was going to get out after 18 years. And I got on my hands and knees. I asked God, please, let me have a better life than I had before I came in. And he gave it to me.
I don't care how much street life you have. It's nothing. The real game is education, and that's what I want.
You have to grow up in your mind. You have to know and understand what you've been taught.
Don't be a follower. Be a listener and a learner.
Go to school, get your education. I did not do that. I ended up doing drugs.
You learn and you move on, and you use those type of experiences as strength in your struggle and doing more positive things in life and not making those same mistakes again.
I really admired the kids yesterday in Washington and all over the country, marching. Keep it up. Don't stop.
That special prayer that I have for the state of the world. I just live day by day.
Time to take action. Give up your apathy. Get involved. That's my advice.
Don't let anybody tell you what you can't achieve. You can achieve anything you want if you want it bad enough. Never surround yourself with negativity. Shy away from negativity at all costs, because that is the very root that will continue to have you down. Don't look down. Always, always look up.
USA! USA, mother.
In America, there is one forbidden word. It is the N-word. Now, I am going to be the terrorist. You have 3 seconds to attract attention. Go!
Red Dragon, Beijing, Hong Kong, 现在面对 Hong Kong, sushi.
I have a customer who's being difficult and maybe taking us without our permission, and I'd like to get dispatched to the police if possible.
Okay, so now he's calling the police, which is fine.
Black female, green shirt,
Mm-hmm.
blue skirt.
It's black.
You're taking advantage of the system is what you're doing.
How
Okay,
am
I'm
I
trying to do the
taking-
best I can. You've already gotten $15 off of these products. Okay? And you're trying to play games with the digital coupons, and it's not going to work. I'm giving you my boss's number. She can fix it from here, okay? 'Cause
Okay,
I'm really done with you.
Okay.
I'm tired of the attitude and I'm tired of the nonsense.
And I've actually been extremely nice.
No, you
to
haven't.
I haven't.
Whatever.
been
You know what?
rude.
Like I said, we're done talking.
I will deal with her, but
Thank God.
you said you don't like people like me, meaning
That's
a
not what I
couponer.
said. You don't have my permission to record me.
I have a customer who's being difficult and maybe taking us without our permission, and I'd like to get dispatched to the police if possible.
Okay, so now he's calling the police, which is fine.
Black female, green shirt,
Mm-hmm.
blue skirt.
It's black.
I have a customer who's being difficult and maybe taking us without our permission, and I'd like to get dispatched to the police if possible.
Okay, so now he's calling the police, which is fine.
Black female, green shirt,
Blue skirt.
It's black.
You're taking advantage of the system is what you're doing.
How
Okay,
am
I'm
I
trying to do the
taking-
best I can. You've already gotten $15 off of these products. Okay, and you're trying to play games with the digital coupons, and it's not going to work. I'm giving you my boss's number. She can fix it from here, okay? 'Cause
Okay.
I'm really done with you.
Okay.
I'm tired of the attitude, and I'm tired of the nonsense.
And I've actually been extremely nice.
No, you
to
haven't.
I haven't.
Whatever.
been
You know what?
rude.
Like I said, we're done talking.
I will deal with her, but
Thank God.
you said you don't like people like me, meaning a
not what I
couponer.
said. You don't have my
This is
permission
not
to record
like-
me. I have a customer who's being difficult. He's videotaping us without our permission, and I'd like you to dispatch the police if possible.
Okay, so now he's calling the police, which is fine.
Black female, green shirt,
Mhm.
blue skirt.
It's black.
Let me be clear, Mr. President. How can you drain the swamp if you're the one who keeps muddying the waters? You didn't know about that $130,000 payment to a porn star until you did. Said you knew nothing about how your former lawyer, Michael Cohen, handled this until acknowledging today you were the guy behind the retainer payment that took care of this. You insist that money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction. Of that, you're sure. Thing is, not even 24 hours ago, sir, you couldn't recall any of this, and you seem very sure. Now, I'm not saying you're a liar, you're president, you're busy. I'm just having a devil of a time figuring out which news is fake. Like when you claimed your tax plan was the biggest in U.S. history.
We have the biggest tax cut in history, bigger than the Reagan tax cut, bigger than any tax cut.
When it wasn't. That the bill you signed to make it all happen would cost you a fortune.
It cost me a fortune, this thing. Believe me. Believe this is not good for me.
When it turns out it is going to help make you a bigger fortune. Like the time that you said rumors of Rex Tillerson's departure at the State Department were false.
Rex Tillerson likewise has become really a fixture here.
Until they weren't. Or that your former chief of staff, Reince Priebus, wasn't going anywhere.
Where is Reince? What a good man. There he is.
Until he was. When you absolutely love Steve Bannon.
Steve's been a friend of mine for a long time. I like Steve a lot.
Until you didn't. Swore by Jeff Sessions.
You love Jeff Sessions. He's doing a good job.
Until you started swearing at Jeff Sessions.
So I'm very disappointed in my Justice Department.
You are right to say some of them are out to get you. But oftentimes they're using your own words to bash you. Your base probably might not care, but you should. I guess you've been too busy draining the swamp to ever stop and smell the stink you're creating. That's your doing. That's your stink. Mr. President, that's your swamp.
This is another one of these things that I didn't think I had to lecture about. You have to believe in facts. Without facts, there's no basis for cooperation. If I say this is a podium and you say this is an elephant, it's going to be hard for us to cooperate. I can find common ground for those who oppose the Paris Accords. Because, for example, they might say, well, it's not going to work. You can't get everybody to cooperate. Or they might say, it's more important for us to provide cheap energy for the poor, even if it means in the short term that there's more pollution. At least I can have a debate with them about that. And I can show them why I think clean energy is the better path, especially for poor countries, that you can leapfrog old technologies. I can't find common ground if somebody says climate change is just not happening, when almost all the world's scientists tell us it is. I don't know where to start talking to you about this. If you start saying it's an elaborate hoax, I don't know what to... Where do we start? Unfortunately, too much of politics today seems to reject the very concept of objective truth. People just make stuff up. They just make stuff up. We see it in the growth of state-sponsored propaganda. We see it in